No.
I don't know, but I hope he doesn't say anything about it, because I won't do it.
All right, so bear with me. We got like 5 minutes we have to do this, and then you have a little time for review. So we just need to fill this in. There's a few problems on the front, and then you guys are gonna have time to work on the back, because I want to make sure before you leave today, if you have questions, you answer, or you ask them. On the back, I will be posting the answer key to that too. We might have a few minutes today, but just make sure. Obviously, when you're doing an assessment at home, you can use all your notes anyways, so feel free to use the stuff that I post. Just go with it. So basically, the last thing that we needed to wrap up this section, and we kind of talked about it quick the other day, is the signs in each quadrant. So we just have a quick little chart we'll fill in, and I'll show you a quick way to remember it. This is still how I remember it to this day, so I'll tell you that. So we're just gonna put little positives or negatives in each little part, and we'll go from there. So in quadrant 1, everything is positive. That one's kind of easy. So no matter what, if you're in quadrant 1, your answer is positive. In quadrant 2, sine is positive, and its reciprocal cosecant is positive, and everything else is negative. So when we talk about those original 3, whatever the original 3 is, their reciprocal will be as well. In quadrant 3, tangent is positive, and its reciprocal cotangent. Everything else is negative. And last but not least, in quadrant 4, cosine is positive, and its reciprocal is positive, and everything else is negative. So I don't expect you to memorize that. No one memorizes a chart like that anyways. You can always refer back to it. There is a way to remember it. So you kind of write it like this. So these are our quadrants, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you kind of write A. So this is, A is for all, are positive. Here, S is for sine, and its reciprocal are positive. This is for tangent, and this is for cosine. And they have a little mnemonic device, like, you know, you have like little sayings. This isn't actually true, but I don't know why it is the one. All students take calculus. Not a true statement at all, not even near everyone takes calculus, but it's just a little saying to remember. I still say, I had to actually say it when I did that. Ends in the first quadrant, they're all positive. S is in the second quadrant. Sine, then tangent, and then cosine. So all students take calculus. Once again, you guys can kind of always use your notes, where in the past I was kind of a stickler about not using notes. But that is a little way to do it. I still say that in my head to this day, because that's how I learned it back when I was in high school. And like that little sayings even in the book, it's just one of the random things people still say to this day. Just a little mnemonic device. So those are the signs. It ends up being like semi-important when we do a few problems. So we can just refer back to that. So I just want to show you those ones on the bottom. They're pretty quick. There's actually no math involved. Hey, can you just grab one of those for a second? It's really just thinking about what quadrant you're in, and then just saying if things are positive or negative. So on the bottom, you're just thinking about what quadrant you're in. This is saying sine is positive, because it's saying greater than 0 is positive. And this is also saying cosecant is positive. So you have your nice chart right above it. Just find the places where sine's positive and cosecant are positive. That would be in quadrant 1. It would also be in quadrant 2, right? And then in the other ones, they're negative. So that's all you have to do for that problem. There will be 1 or 2 of these on your assessment here. So then for the other ones, we're just kind of thinking, okay. This is greater than 0, so where cosine is positive and sine is positive. Look at your chart right above. The only place that cosine and sine are positive at the same time is in quadrant 1. There's no other time that they're both positive. Number 3, this is less than 0, so this is tangent is negative. And this is cosine is negative as well, because that's less than 0. Where would that be in quadrant 2?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm doing the all students say calculus in my head. Quadrant 2. So it's really just kind of looking up. You have that chart as reference, so feel free to use it. I would highly suggest doing so. So can you try these last few? See if you can figure out. I think 1 or 2 of them does have more than 1. So just as a heads up, if there's more than 1 spot, make sure you list all of them. So can you figure out for 4, 5, 6 what quadrants those are in? I'll give you a second while I finish up my attendance. Excuse me. So literally all you're saying is 1, 2, 3, or 4, or some combo of that. So not really needing a lot of math involved. More just kind of looking and seeing where you at. Give it another minute. I'm gonna send my attendance, we'll be back, but that was the only really new thing we have to do today, so that's why I was like, we can do it pretty quick. And that pretty much wraps up our chapter, which is nice. All right, so let's do a quick check of those. We'll look at what is expected of you for that little assessment. You'll have some time to practice. And then we'll do one other thing today. So this is telling me that secant, once again, it says is less than 0 is negative. This is telling me cosecant is also negative. Quadrant 3? Sorry, I really have to think about that. I don't just magically know this stuff. I have to do the all students take calculus and then I kind of go around. All right, so this one, sine is negative. Cosecant is negative. That would be 3 or 4. Okay. And last but not least, cosine is negative. Sine is negative. That would be quadrant 3. So once again, there will be a few problems like that. They're pretty quick because I kind of like them. You don't have to do too much work. You have the chart right there, so feel free to use it. But that was the last major thing from this chapter. I feel like we literally have been doing this for over a month at this point. Chapter 1. So that's kind of nice. Even though you're going to see those 6 trig functions are kind of just every chapter, so we'll get used to them. So I wanted to point that out because it kind of pops up in the back. But let's just look at the back and we'll just see kind of the general idea of what is on our assessment. I was going to call it a quiz. At the end of the week. Just doing this so I can actually see it. All right, so if I kind of just scroll through and you guys are looking at it, there's a few questions on just simplifying radicals. So that's when you do your factor tree. Simplify as much as possible. There's a few questions on rationalizing the denominator. So that's, we don't want that square root in the denominator. So doing the steps we talked about. And then I did like 2 of each type of problem. So there's 1 or 2, excuse me. where you're given a point. Once again, I'm only having you find one trig function to kind of not hurt our brains here. And then there's two problems where you're given equations. And then there's two problems where you're given a trig function. I did add into this and what quadrant it was in. That should say is in, not I sin, sorry. Is in, okay. That's kind of a weird typo. So then you would just make sure in the end, you would look at what quadrant you are in and whether your answer was positive or negative. So we're gonna do a little bit of practice because I feel like hopefully it makes sense when I'm doing it. I wanna see if you can kind of try them and see how you're feeling. As of right now, is there any specific problem on the back that people would like to go over because you're still like, I have no clue what's going on? Yes.
That's a good question.
Sure.
For simplifying the radicals, like on the quiz, do we have to like create a factor chart? If it's like 25, do we have to write a
No.
for chart?
Yeah. Yeah, when I say like show your work, if you can do something in your head, like you're good. It's more like if I had to show my work,
Yeah.
I would expect to see yours. But if it's like something you can like throw in a calculator or something,
Yeah.
you don't need to show me. Is there any type of problem? Like, is everyone okay with those equation ones? I feel like we did that a few of those yesterday. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We still have a half hour, so we have plenty of time. Let's do kind of every other problem while we're here. So let's do the odds while we're in class, because that gives you one of each type. And then you always have other ones if you need to go back and practice / I'm going to be putting the answer key up to this. So if you're practicing on your own or you're just making sure you get it, you have something to look back at. So today we're gonna work on the odd numbers. And then hopefully we can go over those before you leave to see if you have any questions. So today, I'm so bored with my life yesterday. Like school is so boring now because no one has personalities anymore. So we're gonna do family time today. Do you want to do it now or later?
No.
Anyone else have an opinion? Okay.
I think I know these.
Let's just do it. So in the past, get our pig out. He is full of questions. I actually have pre-selected questions today, but on days that we just want to do this, I've written questions in here. Like, would you rather only be able to whisper or scream? It's not a random question. Like, things to think about. Anyways, so he's our like little mascot. Usually we call this Pass the Pig because we would pass the pig around, but obviously we can't touch anything because life is terrible. He'll be right back. All right, today's theme of family time is Halloween. So there's three questions. And all of this revolves around my daughter's Halloween costume. So I have a 4-year-old. We're at the age, like I had to kind of let her pick her outfit. Like I couldn't pick anything. So this is maybe the most proud moment I've had as a parent. Because we're like scrolling through outfits. There's like princesses and like cute animals and like witches, whatever. So we're scrolling through. She's like, no. She picked as her outfit, she's gonna be a Reese's peanut butter cup. Like, just like every other 4-year-old's gonna be a princess, and I'm like so proud she's gonna be a Reese's peanut butter cup. I did something right as a mom. So anyways, she's going as a Reese's peanut butter cup. So, my 3-part question. 1, I feel like there's 2 types of people in the world. You either love Halloween or you like could care less about Halloween. So what type of person are you? You like it? Because I'm an Halloween, but whatever. What's the best Halloween candy? Like back in the day, you're going through your candy. What's the best one? And then what's the worst Halloween candy? Like no one, but like if you went trick or treating, you got it, you like threw it out. It was the bad. So we'll do one question at a time. So first question, do you love Halloween or could you like do without it? So I could care less about Halloween person. What are you?
I care less.
Could care less, okay, I feel ya.
Well, it's my first Halloween.
Oh, have you never celebrated Halloween before?
Yeah, but it's different. Yeah, it's very different.
Oh, wow, see, there you go. So you don't even know who you are yet.
Yeah.
Do you like dressing up in like costumes and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, so you probably like it. There you go.
I used to like it a lot more, but now it's just like.
Yeah, like as a kid you liked it.
Yeah.
I feel you. Oh, you're into it, love it?
Yeah, I like Halloween.
Okay,
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
like it.
yeah.
Cause I feel like I drive around and I never realized how many people decorated for Halloween.
Oh, I know.
I saw like a big spider that was like 6 feet.
Yeah, like, oh, we could drive by
skeleton.
these skeletons that are like
Yeah.
as high as a house. I'm like, what is going on? One house has a whole graveyard. It's like, I'm just like, I got a pumpkin. That's
My
about it.
neighbors scare me. They have like a whole bunch of like decorations in the front yard, and one of them is like a skeleton in the tree, in like our tree that we share.
Oh,
And like,
do you just look out there?
no, I like back out of my car, and there's just a skeleton right there. And I get so
See, that's
scared.
got a pumpkin. But okay, so anyways, I'm just I like candy. Okay, so next one. What is like you open your Halloween bag, or just in general, you got what's the best type of candy?
Twigs.
Oh, you're a Twix guy. Okay, I'm with you. Skittles? Okay, you're a fruity candy, like it.
Any gummy candy.
Oh, you're gummy. I feel like Sour Patch Kids.
Twigs.
Twix? 2 Twixes. 3 Twixes? Wow.
Laffy Taffy all the way.
Laffy Taffy? No.
Alright, that's
No.
So good.
You're picking Laffy Taffy out of every candy.
Yes.
Right?
I would say second, but not
That's like,
first.
oh,
No, that's like, I'm like actually a little.
That's
It's
like,
okay. Like you can have your own opinion.
I
Like
mean-
when you get the banana Laffy Taffy.
That's
like,
so
just-
good.
No.
Right? That's
so
so
good.
great.
That is so
Oh
good.
my god. I like maybe.
I'd only eat the banana one. Yes. That is so good.
Okay, I like it. This is why I like family time, because I would have never known that about you, and now I don't know.
I'm disappointed at all.
I'm going Reese's, which is why.
Okay.
Oh, so good. Okay. So last question: what is the worst type? I'm just gonna say Laffy Taffy.
Yeah, Laffy Taffy, me too.
Or like
Laffy
I don't
Taffy.
like the Mounds or the Almond Joy.
Oh yeah.
I'm not a coconut person. You're going
Yeah,
Laffy Taffy.
yeah.
Disrespectful.
So what's your worst type of candy?
I don't know, the mint one?
Huh?
The mint one?
Oh, mint. Oh yeah, like the I forget what they're called.
Like, I like mint,
Oh, the
but in
peppermint
candy,
joys
it sucks.
Yeah, I'm like you. I'm not a mint or like mint and chocolate. Anyways.
Whoppers.
Oh, Whoppers
Yeah.
are terrible.
Hundreds of them.
Yeah. Why do so many people? Because they're always in those stupid packs where you get, and then like you keep the good ones for yourself and you get the crappy ones out. I totally do that at Halloween. Like, oh, I'll just keep
Candy corn.
candy corn. I'm not a big candy corn fan, but I know.
They can't go.
Tootsie Rolls.
Dots.
Oh,
Dis-
I don't mind
It tastes
dogs.
like medicine.
Exactly.
Like I don't mind the dogs
Disgusting.
every now and then. Okay, well, see, there you go. You guys actually talked to me. That was exciting. What a day. Oh, we learned a little bit about each other. We judged each other a little bit. That's okay.
Listen, Laffy Taffy's still number one.
Okay, banana Laffy. I still am not. I'm never gonna get over this, but that's okay. I respect it. Thank you like that.
Thank you.
I don't.
I'm sorry. It's a little disturbing.
It's so
It's like
good.
chewing
It's
cat.
so good.
It's a little disturbing.
It's like a shocker. Like
I was
Like, you
shocked.
wouldn't
I almost
expect
fell
that,
off
like-
my chair.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I can.
It's okay though. It's okay. You like what you like.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you for participating. So we have lots of other random questions, but I was going with the Halloween theme today. It's coming up.
For sure. I feel you.
Okay.
For sure.
So we'll try to do it because I'm like, yesterday I left and I was just like bored. I don't know. I just need to like mix up my life a little, I think. Like I like teaching math and all, but when you guys just sit and stare at me for a straight hour, and I do that 5 times a day, it's like, we'll try to mix it up. Just so we're not so terribly bored. And I know I always have you first period, so that also doesn't help, so we'll do our best. So, we have about, I don't know, 20 minutes left. So what I would like you to do, you can have the last few if you need to, but I need you to try a low amount.
Oh, of course.
We'll kind of just focus on the odds, so you don't have to do all of them this second. If you're like, hey, I know how to do this, go to the ones that you're a little bit more iffy on before you leave today. So then if you do have a question, you can ask. Because once again, on Thursday, you are gonna have a little bit of an assessment. It will be online, on that Edge Elastic program. Little things like maybe if you don't simplify all the way, you'll still get partial credit. So I do ask that as you're doing the assessment, you show your work. Obviously, some of them you can kind of do quickly. But for some of the longer ones, show your work, because I can always go back and look at your answers and kind of give you partial credit for that. So let's try the odds now. See if you have questions as you're working. Feel free to call me over. I'm just going to kind of be doing my answer key too. So see